Hello everyone, welcome once again to my channel. It's your boy Luis Portelles, and for today's video we have a very special reaction because this is going to be my final prediction for the top 16 of the Miss Universe Philippines Coronation Night. This is a video that a lot of you have been requesting for the longest time, and if I'm being honest, I was kind of hesitating if I should do it or not. The reason for that is because during the past few months, I've been able to talk to a lot of these candidates. I've been able to get attached even to a lot of them. And how do you rank your friends? How do you tell them that you are better than this one or that you are not as deserving? It's not something that I find pleasure in doing. However, I decided to look at this in a very objective way and really go with the facts, the things that we have been presented so far when it comes to the activities, when it comes to the challenges, and just give you a very honest opinion about the things that I liked and the things that I feel like they still can improve on for the final coronation night and even for upcoming years if some of them decide to compete once again in the Miss Universe Philippines competition. I am still sick, everyone, so I'm going to apologize for my voice. I'm still struggling a little bit with my breath, so just bear with me for this video. And the only thing that I'm gonna ask from you is that if you enjoy it, please go ahead and leave a like so that it gets recommended to more people. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one almost every single day. And last but not least, let me know in the comment section if you agree with my top 16, if you think that I justified and that my arguments are solid. But even if you think differently, let me know in the comment section respectfully, and we can have an open conversation about it. So without further ado, my friends, let's get into today's video. I really hope that you enjoy it. Alright everyone, so let's get into the list, and for number 16 I have one of the biggest dark horses in this competition. Of course, I'm talking about Maria Corazon Abejaros representing for Mandaluyong. And Corinne, in my opinion, is one of the most beautiful faces and most beautiful bodies of the competition. When I think of her, it's always the photo that was released by the Miss Universe organization that comes to mind. The one where she was in the swimsuit. I just remember her body being so toned, so athletic, and she just felt like a glamazon at that point. Even when it comes to the technical side of things, her pasarela, her transitions, the way that she smiles and her facial expression, I believe that she's one of the strongest competitors so far. The only reason why she didn't make it higher on my list is because I feel like Corinne has struggled a little bit to connect with the audience on a personal level. We have seen flawless photos, flawless poses, flawless videos, but I still don't feel like I know her personally, her story, where she comes from, what she's been through. I don't know what her flaws might be. So I believe that this is really an opportunity if she ever decides to compete once again for the Miss Universe crown, to open up a little bit and allow the audience to see her for who she is as a beauty queen, but also as a person. Regardless of that, it doesn't take away credit for everything that she has been able to deliver, and I feel like once again she is one of the strongest dark horses in the competition, and I would love to see her come back. Number 15 on my list, we have Jean-Louise Abejaros representing for Isabella. And I feel like Jean-Louise is one of the girls that I've seen grow exponentially since the beginning of the competition. Starting being one of the candidates with, I would say, one of the smallest followings within the batch of the 100 girls, Jean-Louise has really become one of the girls that is so consistent on everything that she has done when it comes to the challenges, when it comes to the activities. But it wasn't until the preliminary competition that she was able to show her real potential. Not only she presented to us such a beautiful, balanced, healthy looking body, but also all of the technique that is required from her, and on top of that, a brilliant, funny, such a joyful personality. Even during the interview, she was one of the candidates that really stood out for me for how smart she was, for how at ease she was able to present herself. And all of those things, when you put them together, I feel like are things that the Miss Universe organization is looking for at the moment, which automatically will turn her into a threat for a lot of the other candidates. Props to her, because in my opinion, she was the candidate who showed the most growth since the beginning. Number 14 on the list, we have Santamaria representing for Parañaque. Sam, I remember when the Top 100 was announced, I believe that she was too young, that she was too inexperienced, that she was too soft, that she was too kind for this competition. Especially if we go back to that moment, you will remember that we were talking about how there were so many show business people in the competition, so many veterans, that this was going to be a bloodbath. And I told myself, at such a young age and with such soft personality, she is gonna get eaten by these other contestants. However, this was not the case at all. As the competition was advancing, we were able to see that Sam is a multifaceted person. She is able to give you, yes, that very delicate, soft, persona, but she is also a very smart candidate. She did excel during the Q&A challenge. She also did excel during the preliminary interviews. And I believe that with all of the other challenges, she was always able to show different sides of her personality, whether it's her fear side, whether it's her technique, whether it's her personality. And in my opinion right now, Sam is one of the girls who has shown that she can do a little bit of everything. It wasn't really until after my interview with her that I was able to really appreciate her as a person as a whole. I even had the opportunity to have a few personal interactions with her where she was able to open up, and I felt at that point that, okay, I can see this girl for who she is, not only as a person but also as a beauty queen. And in my opinion, she is the entire package. And even if this is not her year, I would love to see her come back once again, because Sam, I mean, like, the future is bright for you, my girl. I love you so much, and you know that. Number 13 on my list, we have Kristen representing for Masbate. I know that a lot of people once again are going to be upset because Kisses is even on my list, but you know what? She deserves this placement. I remember when the first announcement was made for Kisses, everyone was saying how, oh, she is just part of show business, she's a celebrity, she's not going to perform, she's not gonna do well. And I feel like that's something that really stayed throughout all the entire competition. Kisses has a huge amount of supporters, but there's also a lot of people, of bashers out there that really just like to, bring her down for some reason. In my opinion, was she perfect during this competition? Not at all. Kisses had a lot of highs, but she also had a lot of lows. I already knew since the beginning that she was extremely strong when it comes to Q&A, when it comes to the interviews, and that she was able to connect with the audience because that's something that she's been doing for years. However, I was a little scared to see what was gonna happen with the technical side of things, with the pasarela, with the transitions, with everything else that is expected from a beauty queen that a celebrity or someone in the public eye does not have to do. We also tend to forget all of the experience that Kisses has already that she could actually use for the competitions, such as show business, dealing with pressure, being in the public eye, and those are all things that are expected from not only beauty queens but also from a title holder. What I think that definitely she should improve a little bit on is the technique, maybe the delivery when she is on stage, like the pasarela, looking a little bit more confident. But as a whole, I feel like Kisses has the soul of a beauty queen and the soul of a winner. And that's the most important thing. We will see what happens next for her and how she's going to turn all of this attention, if whether she would like to compete once again or if she's going to continue growing with her show business career. It's really up to her, but I honestly wish her nothing but the best. Something that I do want to say is that I wish she was better surrounded, because the people around her are doing her a disservice. Number 12 on the list, we have Mirhan Polito representing for Angeles City. Definitely the original dark horse of the competition. I remember during my early top picks, Mirhan was not in one of them, and people were DMing me saying why are you overlooking this girl? She has so much potential and so much beauty. But it wasn't until the introduction challenge that I was not able to deny her. She was so beautiful, so eloquent, so well put together, that she just really gave me a very good first impression. Afterwards, when the runway challenge was released, she was one of my highlights right away, instantly. But very similar to Corinne, I feel like Mirhan kind of struggled a little bit with showcasing her personality and sharing her story and connecting with the audience. I feel like her group of supporters know her, but the general audience kind of struggled a little bit more on that level. When it comes to everything that was presented during the competition, we really had to give her prize because she was really excellent. The videography, the photos, the styling, Everything was good, but I still needed to connect a little bit more and know the person who is behind of it all. Regardless of that, Mirhan is one of the girls who represents the typical beauty of a Filipina, and I'm really excited to see what the future holds for her, whether it's within Miss Universe Philippines, whether it's with other beauty pageants, or whatever projects she decides to try in life. I'm really excited to see what she's going to do. Number 11 on my list, we have Chela Falconer, representing for Miss Oriental. And Chela, if I'm being fully transparent, is one of the girls that at first I was kind of disregarding. I felt like she was getting overshadowed by a lot of the other candidates when it comes to the styling, when it comes to the videos that were presented, and there was just something that wasn't adding up for me. But child, for the past 2 weeks, she has really been on fire. Everything from the preliminary competition, she was able to show a lot of personality, being very likable, being very approachable as well. And during the swimsuit presentation and evening gown presentation, she was able to take it to a whole new level that I just had never seen Chela under that light before. She has a lot of confidence and she has this gift to really connect with the audience. I remember, for example, during the interviews, she was telling everyone, that's it, I wanted more questions, I wanted to stay here, I want to be here. And that's something that I don't see from any of the candidates. Everyone is just like so stressed and everyone just wants to, look put together, but there's like some spontaneity about her. She is so effortless, and that's something that I really learned to appreciate about her in the very last segment of the competition. For those reasons, she was really able to make it into the top 16, but if you asked me maybe 3 weeks ago, I would have said no, she is not gonna make it. So really good job, Chela, you really earned that position. Number 10 on the list, we have Cristel Abella representing for Aklan. I always said this since the beginning that Cristel was kind of a dark horse within this competition, and a lot of people wouldn't understand. They will tell me, how do you name Cristel Abella a dark horse? She already competed and she has a following. She's one of the girls who is popular on social media as well. Yes, and that is true, but I feel like Cristel has been disregarded a little bit since the beginning of the competition. I think she won once a position for the fan vote challenges, and this was for the runway challenge. However, ever since, Cristel has not been getting the credit that she deserves. In my opinion, she really stepped it up since last year when it comes to her styling, when it comes to the way that she presents herself, when it comes to the entire story and aura that she is giving us this year. I believe that there is a lot of growth and change in Cristel. However, as some of the other candidates, I feel like she struggled a little bit with connecting with the audience, with opening up and allowing us to see the real Cristel, the human being, the good and the bad, the flaws and the qualities. Sometimes Cristel's delivery, you can tell, and I know this firsthand because I was able to interview her, that Cristel is a brilliant candidate. She is very, very smart. However, sometimes she feels a little bit structured, like she is very organized, like she knows how she wants to say things, and sometimes that can seem a little robotic. In my opinion, if she was able to let loose and just allow herself to, sometimes fail, sometimes you stumble, but still learn from that mistake and keep going, it will be a lot more natural. But honestly, that is just a remark, something that I noticed. We still have to see how she's going to deliver during final night. She has really worked hard on her technique, on her pasarela, and if she is given the chance to enter the Q&A segment, she might be able to surprise pretty much everyone. So let's wait and see what happens. Number 9 on the list, we have Erin Burnos representing for San Juan, and Erin has been one of the most refreshing surprises of the competition for many, many reasons. Just like Kisses, I feel like she was one of the popular girls in the beginning that was getting a lot of heat from the pageant fans. People telling that she was not beautiful enough, that her skin color, that her height, and this and that, lots of complaints. But in my opinion, Erin has really been able to deliver so much more than a lot of the pageant fans were expecting from her. For the challenges that were fan voted, she did very well because she has a huge following, but also she has been able to prove to everyone that she is a very eloquent, smart, and capable competitor. At the same time, I feel like some of the things that people was discrediting her for, which is the technical side of being a beauty queen, she has been very solid. Is she perfect? Not at all. There are still a lot of things to improve. There's still a lot of things that Erin needs to keep in mind, and sometimes you can see that she struggles with, such as, I don't know, her pasarela or maybe a little bit of her styling. But when it comes to connecting with the audience, she is excellent. When it comes to communicating properly with everyone and making sure that her ideas are clear and structured and easy to understand, she is amazing. And in my opinion, those are such important things for a beauty queen. When you win a crown and you earn a title, there are very few situations where you will be required to be in a swimsuit. There are very few situations where you will be required to, you know, expose your body. However, you will need to communicate with people at all times. You will need to connect with them. You will need to, you know, make them feel seen and feel appreciated. And that is something that Ayin can really deliver. I always had a feeling deep down in my heart that Ayin was not doing this to win the crown, but actually to open doors for more people like her. And just like Maria Tatiel did during Miss Universe Philippines, I feel like Ayin has really accomplished that within this competition by bringing awareness that shorter ladies can also do it as well, and darker ladies can also do it as well. And regardless of what you do in life, whether you're an influencer, in show business, or a teacher, you still can excel in this type of competition. So nothing but love and appreciation for Ayin. Number 8 on the list, we have the beautiful Jasmine Umali representing for Manila. Jasmine is one of the candidates that, I mean, physically speaking, her facial beauty is just out of this world. She is remarkable. She has this very classical beauty that reminds me sometimes of old Hollywood glamour. But the most interesting thing about Umali is really her personality. I've said this many times, and it's that she is a free spirit. Jasmine is an artist. Jasmine is a dreamer. She is someone who you cannot put in a cage and, you know, try to shape her into a certain way. She is someone who will come on stage laughing, making jokes, you know, laughing at herself and her own flaws, and that is very refreshing when it comes to this entire pageant, but also from someone who is so beautiful physically speaking, because there is really no sense of narcissism. There is really no sense of being shallow. On top of that, when you think of everything that Jasmine has been able to do, whether it's with her photos, whether it's with her videos, she was always very consistent, always on the topics. And keep in mind that this is her first pageant. Yes, she comes from a family who has pageantry experience. However, for her as a person, this was the very first time. So doing it by herself with a very small following at first, I feel like she has done a remarkable job at creating a name for herself. If anything, I feel like this will be a learning experience for her. I don't know if this will be her year to get the crown. However, I hope that she takes everything that she's able to get from the competition, run with it, and come back to it, because she is one of the most promising candidates in my opinion. Number 7 on my list, we have the beautiful May Bautista representing for Laguna. Leren, I mean, from the beginning, once again, she was one of the big names that when she was announced, everyone was going crazy about, and understandably. Leren is just so beautiful, but not just like an extraordinary beauty or anything like that. Leren is like timeless. I don't know how to describe it precisely, but when you look at her, it doesn't matter the angle, it doesn't matter the time, it doesn't matter the styling. Leren always looks flawless because she was already in show business and she had already a very consistent name. She quickly became one of the candidates who was delivering a lot of quality when it comes to the activities, to the photo shoots, to the videos. Everything felt very premium and very well thought out. However, Leren struggled a little bit with her communication skills, in my opinion. The few times where she was required to speak publicly or she was put on the spot, sometimes she will struggle with words, sometimes she will be looking for her ideas. And in my opinion, if she was able to even balance things, you know, with a mix of English and Tagalog, it would have been better for her, because sometimes it just felt like she was a little confused. That's really the only reason why she is not higher on my list, because I feel like when it comes to the physical side, to the technique, to everything that she can deliver, you know, with her persona, she is one of the strongest contestants. However, because we know how important communication skills are and how important it is that you're able to, you know, reach people efficiently, I believe that this was her biggest weakness in the competition, which is a shame because this was her last chance to get the crown. But I know for a fact that Leren has a very bright future ahead of her. And once again, let's not assume anything. Coronation Night hasn't happened just yet. So my number 6 is going to be Beatrice Luigi Gomez, representing for Cebu City. Beatrice was one of the most interesting candidates since the very beginning. Already the fact that she is a member of the LGBTQ plus community as a proud lesbian was already something that for me, it set her apart. There is a little edge about her. There's a story, there is something to learn from her for upcoming years. And she was also one of the girls that for each one of the activities and the challenges was delivering a lot. I'm not gonna lie, in the beginning, she did go a little bit under the radar for me. However, she was really able to pick it up. I feel like it was after the runway challenge, her national costume, her performance during the preliminary show as well. It was excellent. And I told you guys that I believed that she was one of the candidates who might be able to do it to top 3 if the stars align for her. When I think about it, she has done well on every single one of the challenges. Whether she made my top picks or not, she never did a poor job. But I feel like this year, because of the time restraints, might not be her year. However, I love to see her come back if she's able to, because she's a very refreshing candidate when it comes to the standards of pageantry as of right now in the Philippines, but also internationally. So hoping to see more from you, Bea. Alright everyone, so now we are getting officially into top 5, and keep in mind that there's a few things that I consider in order to make these final picks. The first one is that in my opinion there is very little time for not only Coronation Night but also for the international version of Miss Universe. So when I present to you my topics, keep in mind that I'm thinking that there is not a lot of time to prepare, and anything that you need to work on, it has to be like minor details. The candidates need to be ready today for the international competition, and based on that, I want you to listen to my top picks with an open mind. Number 5 on my list, we have the stunning Maureenravelbys representing for Pangasinan. She is arguably the biggest name in the competition since the announcement of the top 100. At the time that she was introduced as a candidate for Miss Universe Philippines, Maureen already had millions of followers. She was a national celebrity but also internationally because of her performance during Asia's Next Top Model and becoming the first winner. Maureen had experience in television as a model, in reality TV, so many different things. With all of that love and big fan base, there was also a lot of hate for Maureen in the sense that she was put into the box of being the model, of not being enough of a beauty queen, of not having enough experience. And although some of those things, such as the experience, were true, Maureen was one of the candidates who was able to really come out of her shell and show us a different side of her. Think about her runway challenge. Maureen was one of the best in my opinion. So effortless, even to the way that she was able to adapt and showcase her personality with the interviews, with the Q&A. I feel like she was able to deliver a healthy balance of everything. Technique, think of the challenges such as the runway, for example. Think of the preliminary night as well. She was able to show a lot of personality. Think of her introduction video when she was making funny faces. But she has also been able to deliver a lot of, smart moments where we've been able to see her mental capacities. Think of the interview, for example. There is still some work to do for Maureen. She is not perfect. There are moments where you feel like she is looking for words. There are moments where you feel like, yeah, this is coming from her model side, like when she presents herself or her delivery. However, there has been major improvement, and it's really because of all of those things, because of the balance that she brings to the table, that she was able to make it into my top 5. Not because of her following, not because of being popular, but because she has proven that although she has her flaws, that although she still has to work on a lot of things, she can be good at most things that are expected from a crowned queen. Number 4 on my list, the one who became officially the biggest dark horse in this competition, we have Janella Joy Quason representing for Albay. Janella, in my opinion, at first, I did not see it for her. I was like, this girl is too soft-spoken, she is too delicate, she is too kind, she's gonna get eaten up by the other candidates, just like I was telling you for Santamaria. However, it was during the runway challenge that I really saw a different side of Janella. She was so fierce. She transformed into someone else that I was like, where is the innocent girl that I was looking at just a few moments ago? She was completely someone different. A few weeks after that, I had the opportunity to interview her. and I was able to see how much of a smart person she is. Janella can really deliver some brilliant answers, like such effortless answers so quickly. It was really something else to experience that one-on-one. And when you think about it, although a lot of people did tag her as a dark horse within this competition, Janella already had a small fan base because she has been in pageants for a long time, and being one of the girls that was not as visible had the most experience because she has been doing this for years, having national and international experience and competing with people of the caliber of Amanda Upton from Miss Universe Thailand. Janella has been able to come out of her shell in so many different ways, and just like for a lot of the candidates, I feel like there was something really after the preliminary night that really shifted in her. She was able to show a lot of personality. She was able to show how smart she is, how good her technique is, how beautiful she is, physically speaking. And from what I've been able to see from other vloggers, predictions, you know, like posts online, no one can deny her anymore. Janella is here to stay, and I am sure that I will see her during Coronation Night. So we'll see what happens. Number 3 on my list, we have Victoria Velasquez Vincent. And if I'm being honest, Victoria was the first girl that I ever heard about for this year's competition. There was already so much hype about her, even before the competition started, even before she was announced as an official candidate. And this is really remarkable. Victoria is a baby in the pageant industry. This is her very first national, international, first pageant at all. However, she has been able to deliver a level of beauty, class, elegance, and intellect that is unmatched by most candidates in this year's edition of Miss Universe Philippines. She, in my opinion, has the entire package, and the only reason why she didn't make it higher on my list, it's because of the lack of experience. I feel like this year is gonna be hard because there's just so much at stake and there is so little time that it will be a risk going for Victoria, knowing that she will have only a few months to prepare for the international version. However, I do believe that she have what it takes. I do believe that intellectually she is one of the girls who there's really no denying her. Her technique, she has proven to be very, very solid, and she has worked so hard. I feel like whatever her trainers and handlers were able to give her, she just absorbed. She was able to grab that information and run with it. Her body is outside of this world. Her legs, her facial features. There is not really one thing that I can criticize about Victoria. And if it wasn't because of the lack of experience, she will be right there, you know, within my top 2, top 1. She's really a threat in my opinion. You never know, this might be her year, this might not be it, but if it's not, I just hope that she considers coming back, because with everything that she has able to learn in this year's edition, if she polishes even a little more, the girl, I mean, like, she's gonna snatch the crown. She's gonna be the next Catriona. I mean, number 2 on the list, we have Steffi Rose Aberasturi representing for Cebu province. And Steffi has been one of the most talked about contestants of this entire thing since the beginning, for all the good reasons and for all the wrong reasons as well. Let's talk about her beauty. First of all, I feel like Steffi is timeless beauty. Steffi is undeniable on a physical level, on a facial level. I think of her photo shoots, whether it is her swimsuit photo shoot, whether it is her glam shot, everything has been undeniably excellent. The moment that everyone had to come together to celebrate Steffi, whether you were a supporter, whether you were a basher, was during the runway presentation. Her runway just went viral. She is really that commendable, and I feel like it speaks volumes that such a beautiful candidate also has such a strong technique and such a strong delivery, you know, when it comes to her presence on stage. However, there are a few things about Steffi that I feel like she still needs to work on. The first thing is going to be the communication skills and how she comes across. Sometimes it feels a little bit forced in my opinion, which is fine because, you know, maybe she just has a lot of energy. But also there is like this big debate around her Q&A skills when compared to previous pageants that she has already won. There is still room for improvement. However, at this point, it's really minor things. So if Steffi was to win the crown, I believe that she might be ready for the international pageant, if she really puts in the work for her communication skills during the next few months. For that reason, I'm really not counting her out. I still feel like Steffi can take the crown if the stars align for her, and she also has a lot of pageant experience on a national scale. However, if the Miss Universe Philippines organization wanted to go with someone with experience, with good technique, needs a little bit of work on the communications, however still considered to be a fresh face, I feel like Steffi will be a safe bet. At the end of the day, I feel like everything is gonna come down to what the Miss Universe organization is looking for. And ladies and gentlemen, my number one pick, which is no surprise for anyone, is Katrina Di Maranan representing for Taguig. Since the very beginning, Katrina was on my list. Everything. I don't feel like there has been a topic that I've ever done that Katrina was not there. She was not always number one and not always the best, although she did get a few number ones. But in my opinion, what that means is that the girl is very consistent. She has the perfect balance of personality, of experience, of charisma, of an inspiring story, national and international experience in pageantry. And keep in mind, because of everything that I told you earlier, the winner does not have a lot of time to prepare for the international version. I feel like Katrina is really the one to beat in this competition. She has been through it all. She has seen it all. She has been national, she has been international, she can connect with people, she can speak well, she has been under a lot of pressure, she has worked on TV, she has been loved by the audience, she has been hated by the audience, and I feel like at this point, anything that you throw at her, she can handle. I had the pleasure to meet her and interview her for my channel. That interview was so effortless, and I was able to understand why people love her and root for her so much. In my opinion, she embodies what the Miss Universe organization should be looking for this year. And I believe that even if she is given the title, she already has a very good chance of getting a high position during the international version of Miss Universe. Is she perfect? Of course not. No one is perfect. Katrina still has things that she needs to work on, that she needs to improve. However, she has proven many times during this competition that she is able to listen and that she is able to learn and apply the feedback. I remember during the Q&A segment, she was told that she was being too much. However, when she came out for the interview during preliminaries, she was very toned down, but she still had her essence. She was told during the Pasarela runway that it was not what they were expecting, that it wasn't as polished. When she did the swimsuit challenge, she delivered excellence. She made my top one pick for the swimsuit competition. She has been criticized many times because she represented the US internationally. However, she proved that she can come back to her country and represent for her people as well, just as proudly. And last but not least, she has a story of resilience, of growth, of not giving up on your dreams, and that's something that really stays with me. From being homeless as a child to being in the position that she is now as a grown woman, it's just a full circle moment, and it feels honestly so inspiring, not only for her as a person, but also for everyone watching. Little boys and girls, you know, watching from home. This is the type of representation that you want, especially during such a challenging year that everyone has been going through. So there you have it, everyone. Those were my top 16 predictions for this year's edition of Miss Universe Philippines. Once again, keep in mind that this is just my personal opinion, and I tried for each one of them to justify to the best of my ability why I gave each one of them this ranking. Might I be wrong? Of course. You never know what's gonna happen during Coronation Night. If someone is gonna stumble, if someone is gonna forget their answer, if someone is there's gonna be something wrong with the dress. Anything can happen at this point. And I'm not claiming to know the answers or to know it all. But if you were interested in knowing how I feel, this is really the truth of it all. Now it's your turn. I mean, you also have an opinion, so go down in the comment section and let me know if you agree with me. And even if you don't, tell me who you would have on your list and why. Let's talk and have an open conversation, always being respectful of everyone else's opinion. While you're at it, don't forget to leave a like on the video so that it gets recommended to more people. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one almost every single day. And last but not least, as usual, just come here and give me a hug. You know that I love you, that I appreciate you. Thank you for coming and spending a few moments out of your day here with me. And until I see you next time, please stay safe, be kind to one another, sending you all my love, all my kisses, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.